how do you convey that love is universal, not personal, to a man who has lived completely in the narrow groove of personal achievement?
Well, then it seems, the first point is, will he question his his person, his unique personality, right?
They question it, sir. I've discussed this so much.
Yeah.
They question it, they see the logic of it, they see the illogic of all this, and yet see, curiously, people who have been very serious in these matters have tried to find the wholeness of life through starvation, through torture, through every kind of way. They haven't. They imagine they have.
Yeah, that's again.
I mean, you can't apprehend or perceive or be the whole through torture. Torture includes discipline, all the rest of it, and all that. So what shall we do? I have a brother who refuses to see all this. And as I like him, as I've lived with him, I have great affection for him. I want him to move out of it. And I've tried to communicate with him verbally and sometimes non-verbally, by a gesture, by a look. But all this is still from the outside. And perhaps that is the reason why he resists. If as being my brother, whom I have great affection, if I can help him, or I won't use the word help, point out that in himself this flame can be awakened. Now, which means he must listen to me.
Yeah, well then.
Back again. But my brother refuses to listen.
See, it seems that there are some actions that are not possible. That if a person is caught in a certain thought, such as fragmentation, then he can't change it because there are a lot of other thoughts behind it, suppositions that he doesn't know. You see, he's not actually free to take an action there because of the whole structure of thought that holds him. Now, see, we have to find some place where he is free to act, to move, which is not controlled by the conditioning.
So how do I will use the word help with a great caution, help my brother? He knows he knows my affection for him. He's aware of my all the rest of it. What is the root of all this? We said becoming, all that is verbal. All that can be explained in 10 different ways. The cause, the effect, and all the rest of it. After explaining all this, he says, you have left me where I am. And my intelligence, my affection, love says, I can't let him go. You follow him? I can't say, well, go to hell and move on. I can't let him go. Which means, am I putting pressure on him? I'm not putting any kind of pressure, any kind of reward, none of that. I can't, my responsibility is I can't let another human being go. It's not the responsibility of duty and all that kind of filthy stuff, but it's the responsibility of intelligence who say all that.
Well, that's clear that the whole thing would have no meaning if you would let him go. Then it would be going back into fragmentation.
No. So, sir, there is a tradition in India and probably in Tibet and all that. They call Maitreya Buddha, who took a vow that he would not become the ultimate Buddha till he has liberated human beings to
altogether.
Yeah. See, the tradition hasn't changed anything. How can one, if he has that intelligence, that compassion, that love, which is not of the country or person or idea of the Savior, all that nonsense, but has that purity of that, can that be transmitted to another? Or living with him, talking to him, you see, it all becomes mechanical.
Now, would you say this has never really been solved, this question?
I should think so, sir.
That's right.
But we must solve it. You follow? It has not been solved, but our intelligence says, solve it. No, I think intelligence doesn't say solve it. Intelligence says these are the facts. And perhaps some will capture it. What?
Well, it seems to me that there are really two factors, and that one is the preparation by reason to show that it all makes sense.
Actually, meaning.
But then from there, possibly some will capture.
We have done that, sir. You started telling me all this. You laid the map out very clearly. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it very clearly, where all the rivers, the conflicts, the misery, the confusion, the insecurity, the becoming, all that's very, very, very clear. At the end of it, chapter, I am back at the beginning. Or I've got a glimpse of it, and that becomes my craving to capture that glimpse and hold on to it and not lose it. Then that becomes a memory. You follow? All the nightmare begins.
Well,
Go
ahead.
In your showing me the map very clearly, you've also pointed out to me something much deeper than that, which is love. And by your person, by your reasoning, by your logic, I am groping, seeking after that. But the weight of my body, my brain, my tradition, all that draws me back. So it's a constant battle. You follow, sir? And I think the whole thing is so wrong.
What's wrong? Which whole thing?
The way we are living,
Oh,
the
yes, of course.
whole thing is so wrong.
Well, I think many people must see that by now. At least a fair number.
As we remember, we were talking once in Ojai, where the man has taken a wrong turn. Entered into a valley where there is no escape. That can't be said. That's too depressing, too appalling.
Well, but still...